Hey, so, the new chapter of 5 Years Later released last night, and I was going to make a video on like my top 5 favorite things in 5 Years Later, but I decided I made so many tweets on 5 Years Later, so I should just make a compilation video where I read all of my 5 Years Later tweets. So here we go. Oh my god. Hashtag 5YL turned Brainstorm into a monster worse than Scare.
I'm rereading 5YL right now, and I still don't like how this part makes Ben look like such a big idiot. Worst part of 5 years later.
Agreed. I do very much still like 5YL, and I like the way bad fight after the Ben and Danny fight. You guys should still read 5 Years Later. And just because I say that it is the worst part of 5 Years Later does not mean I am 100% right. But that's just what I think. Yeah, the only reason why I made that last reply is because somebody on Discord was kind of bitter for like 2 hours that I never said something like that, so there it is. Rook is a magister now? Then why is he and Ben still partners in 5YL? I probably shouldn't think too hard about it since Max was both Magister Tennyson and a retired plumber in Omniverse flashbacks, but it is still weird because Rook has only been a plumber for 5 years in 5YL.
Actually, I believe Rook was Magister since Omniverse. He got promoted in the episode where Kondo took over the Plumber HQ.
I sadly haven't seen that episode since it aired, sadly. I have been needing to rewatch all the Rook-focused episodes of Omniverse for years. I guess it's time for me to go on a binge-watching spring. You better watch out, Ben, or Gold will steal your face too! Oh no! He got all of them except for Zed! This is a good joke about the info map. I hope future 5 Years Later chapters have more jokes like this. I don't think 5 Years Later needs too much humor, but it helps when making the audience connect with the characters.
I forgot to put the 5YL hashtag on this tweet. Hashtag 5YL.
Chapter 3 is the best chapter of 5 Years Later so far. I just read the new chapter again. It is the new best chapter of 5 Years Later since chapter 3. He's not an idiot. If it wasn't for him, neither one of us would have these powers.
Oh yes, nearly killing your own son. What a scientific breakthrough. However, you and I are only half ghost. It would be a shame to leave your father's work unfinished, wouldn't you say?
Not sure about this part. Vlad wanted a half-ghost son in the show. He would not kill Danny. He wants him. Why would he say this?
And yes, I know it's been 5 years, but
This still doesn't feel like Vlad. I do want to say real quick that I do think that so far, in terms of like reintroducing the characters and all that, 5 years later, it probably has made Vlad the best character so far in the book. It's just this one scene that just feels odd and out of place.
once again, I forgot to put the hashtag on this. Hashtag 5YL. You are entitled to nothing.
Well said, Eon. Just so you know, I read Gotro with the reboot upgrade voice, and Lula with Helen's voice.
Oh, how original.
This describes me when I made my 5 years later videos in March too well. But for now, he cares too much about trying to prove himself to make a clear-minded decision. Technus is still the best Danny Fenton villain. Hashtag 5YL. A portal? How?
Peace out, loser.
I love 5 years later. I can't wait to make my next 5 years later video and tell everyone how much of a dummy I was in my first 2 videos. Thank you, Kuro the Artist and the rest of the Ink Tank for making it. Yippee! Bye well, ditto. I hope the next action-filled chapter of 5YL will not be in space. I would like to see more land-based aliens like Cannonball next time, but we are probably going to have to wait until chapter 9 to see that. I hope I'm wrong. I'm really hoping I'm wrong about that. This is definitely not an anime reference in 5YL. And that's all of them. Let me know if I should make another video like this in the future in case if I make a bunch more tweets like I did in the last couple of days. Alright guys, bye.